WT6. This is Heartland Focus.
Good morning, and welcome to Heartland Focus. Have a great show for you today. We have the Councilwoman Juanita Johnson will be with me this morning, to talk about all the festive things going on in Omaha. We're celebrating Native Omaha Days. This is the kind of a week-long celebration, and so I've been out myself enjoying some of the festivities, so I'm a little tired. You know, you can see it in my eyes a little bit, but it's been really good, been very positive. We had an event on Thursday at the River City Star, Express Yourself Omaha, that was sponsored by, or presenting sponsor was Beverage Catering of Nebraska. My man Doug Washington and myself was involved in that, and had great sponsors from Rotella's Bakery to Urban League of Nebraska, Charles Drew, Cleanse Beverage, Seals Consulting, and just, it takes a community. My friend, good friend, Johnny Rogers, Heisman Trophy winner, he always tells me and remind me, if you can do it by yourself, it's just not big enough. It has to be something that will force you to attract people to help you reach your goals. And so we could not have done that without a collective effort and building a team. And so the sponsors, I thank you, State Farm agent Sherman Willis. I want to thank you, shout out to you as well, George Asaka from Rotella's, my man Raheem Sanders from Cleansed Beverage, and Deb Dogba from Seals Consulting, and all the other folks that participated. I just want to thank you. It was a great night. Tony Goins, I want to thank you, the Director of Economic Development for the state of Nebraska. They were also involved. And so if I leave anybody out, take it to the head, not the heart, okay? But thank you guys. My man, Bankster One, they call him, Anthony Anderson, for just the paparazzi. I mean, in terms, he had his phone there, working it like he was in Hollywood. And so I want to thank him for just really capturing the essence and the energy of that event. Johnny Rogers, thank you also for your sponsorship as well, and Grace and so many other folks. Thank you. Now I want to bring on my guest, Juanita Johnson. I have to kind of get used to saying Councilwoman Johnson. Well, welcome to Heartland Focus.
Well, thank you for having me. It's really an honor and a pleasure.
Yeah, I tell you, you know, you've been on our show before, and you know, I think this is really, I think officially this is the first time as the Councilwoman being on the show, and so congratulations.
Thank you.
And welcome. Well, it's coming upon, I think you started, July 7th or so, and I mean, you're reaching almost 60 days. Do you want to kind of like, hey, I'm done, or, you know, or how you feeling? What has been resonating with you most within this last almost 2 months of being a newly elected councilwoman?
Well, Tim, like you mentioned earlier, the team, the village, that community outpour, those are the things that are resonating with me more than anything in District 2. The job is really fast-paced, incredible, lots of information, but there
a lot of people coming at you.
A lot of people, and the needs of the community.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just so great, so large. Numerous phone calls, lots of congratulations, lots of excitement. We're glad you're in the office, you're in the chair, those kinds of things, and you know, just an overall welcoming in District 2 that I've received. It's just incredible.
How did you get there? I mean, because I mean, from my perspective, I've been getting a lot of calls, and people think, you did have a well-oiled machine, but how did you get there? I mean, how did you get here as a councilwoman? What did it take?
Well, it took a number of things, a number of strategy, but most importantly, I would like to say that the stars were aligned. The Creator saw fit for me to actually win this election. Now, with that being said, the Creator does give us tools to work with.
That's right.
I mean, he doesn't just say, here's what I want you to do, but we have to put some action.
But if you're willing,
we have to put some action into this movement. And so this was definitely a grassroots movement.
Okay.
Things that I had set up from a foundational standpoint many, many years ago. I didn't know.
So for folks that don't know, what you've been doing the work. What have you been doing in terms of that community grassroots? Because I think people that don't know you, they like, well, dang, Councilman, did you just pop and appear and
No,
tell us a little bit.
Well, it was gradual steps. I started off as a neighborhood president leader, got to know my neighborhoods, began advocating for things that we needed in order to be successful and be more of a community and stick to a group of people. Of course, we had to have conversations with city government because they provide a multitude of services. And so that gave me a segue into learning city government. And
through your neighborhood work, you really it gave you that opportunity to connect with the services and departments and things like that. So you didn't come to this thing all fresh and naive. You've done the work through your neighborhood. Okay.
Now, again, in the neighborhood association, there's no playbook. Nothing that tells you how to be an effective president. So I kind of had to learn that, kind of create that path on my own. So I found being at the city council meetings that provided me with a great resource as to building the necessary skills that I would need in order to be an effective leader. So that's how it all started, and then I began working those different various departments that the city has, and then I started providing those tools that I had learned or got familiar with and provided that information to others.
So the department heads or those various departments, they were already familiar with Juanita Johnson.
Yes, they were already familiar with me.
Wow, and now they have to really operate in terms of with you as the councilwoman.
Right, just from a different platform. So I'm no longer a neighborhood or an advocate. Now I'm
Those
city
are some
council.
Interesting dynamics that's probably playing at play.
Yeah. So it's just beautiful. Well, it's a home run.
Well, let's do this. We may not be able to complete, but we'll take a break. But start, really when you're here now.
Okay.
You talked about how you got there, and I know, there's a plethora of people that really, we don't have time for you to list them all because you just don't get here by yourself. But priorities, when you think about North, we're in the midst of Native Omaha Days, but also you always have this theme that will always chase and be in front of us called crime.
Right.
And violence.
Right.
But those are symptoms in terms of there's root causes. And so talk a little bit about really what you think we need to be focusing on as our strategy to get up and out and really make for a better environment in terms of North Omaha to live, work, and play.
Well, we all know, and strategically and statistics have shown us that poverty is the root cause of all of these things that we have,
That's
such
true.
as crime.
Facts.
Crime, homelessness, lack of jobs. Those are all things, byproducts of poverty. All right, so obviously in District 2, we fit the number there.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if this group have, I don't know if everybody remembers, but we had a TV media host named Bob Gibson. He was on KETV back in the 60s and the 70s. I had the opportunity last week, he came in town and visit with him. He was also a city council person for Chicago for 14 years, and he just recently retired. So he came in North Omaha, he toured the area, and he agreed with me. He said, economics, jobs, that's what we need in order to turn the page. We need that.
I got to take a break, but when we come back, I want to pick up in terms of economics and jobs, some thoughts in terms of how we're going to get there.
Okay.
Okay? All right. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to visit with Councilwoman Johnson about particularly North Omaha, one of our most challenged areas. What is our future going to look like in terms of economics, and how do we usher in what we're calling the H3s, okay, and learn about H3s when we come back. Stay with me. I'll be right back. Hey, welcome back to Heartland Focus. My guest is Councilwoman Juanita Johnson. Juanita, thank you. Thank you for taking the time. I guess really, part of, I know we're going to jump into jobs and economics, but let's spend some time really talking a little bit about, before we do that, about what people are coming here for. And first is what's happening in District 2. Why don't you tell the folks about the energy and really Native Omaha Days and what's happening there, and you got a chance to welcome the folks there as well.
Well, as you stated earlier, we are currently living Native Omaha Days.
That's right.
It's a week-long celebration.
Yeah, we're in it. We're in it.
And we're full steam ahead.
And I've been seeing you out there too, okay? We'll talk about some things offline, but we've had a ball.
We've had a ball.
Great.
And
yes.
I mean, and just the synergy and the energy and the atmosphere in terms of people just gathering, having fun,
positive,
laughing. I mean, just so incredible. I mean, I just couldn't ask for anything better. I haven't seen any crime in my space. Now, I was out and about, and I saw a lot of activities over the Thursday and Wednesday. Salem, not Salem, but Morning Star. Morning Star Baptist Church started with the worship service. And again, that was incredible. We had local artists, just a plethora of artists just here, and they were just beautiful and
some nice
resonated, powerful messages from up above, and they just said, hey, they started our path on this journey for this week-long celebration in a positive way, and we're looking for continue enjoyment. That's what we're looking for.
Well, that's good. That's a good way to get it started. And so the impact in terms of your district with the Native Omaha Days, I mean, economically, is it pretty significant?
It is, because it has an opportunity to bring a lot of money back into District 2. Managed well, we can do a lot with that influx of money, because as we know, traditionally, most of the people that lived here, grew up here in Omaha, Nebraska, they come back. People like Gabrielle Union and folks like that, they come back.
Kathy Hughes, Russell Harrison. It's a lot of folks.
We have the potential of those folks coming back and pouring in to the community. So it's a revenue source for District 2. And so we're looking forward to capitalizing and leveraging that opportunity, and then give back into the community with the money that we receive from that. We want to bring it back into the community and turn it over and over again back into the community.
So that's a good segue in terms of the economics, because that it's been really noted and really statistically that North Omaha right now, we're not spending and turning that money over and over. Is coming in the front door and going out the back door, right?
Right.
In your thoughts around economic strategy, how do we begin to look inward to where we can keep more money in the community and to have it keeps recycling versus going outside our community?
Right. So we have to elevate the individuals and meet our individuals here in North Omaha where they're at. We have to provide them with resources, tools,
Yeah.
And we have to strengthen the opportunity for small business owners.
Yeah.
Small business owners is the backbone of economic growth.
That's right.
I mean,
in this country.
In this country.
That's right.
They bring in lots
right.
and lots of money. North Omaha needs to start increasing those numbers of those businesses returning back into the area.
Yeah.
So as city councilwoman, I need to be helping, seeing what we need to do to make that happen. So right now, my first priority is looking at all available avenues to make sure that the individuals that have the skill sets, have the ability and the know-how, that they have the right things that they need to get that going.
Yeah. Now, one of the things, that, it's not no secret. I've said it on this show and publicly that you have a lot of not-for-profits in North Omaha. You got a lot of foundations that have done, I think, my personal opinion, they've done some great work.
Right.
Sherwood Foundation,
I would agree.
The Whites Foundation, Darty. the list goes on and on. And then the city government, as far as who you represent, and I think when you're chasing something from behind, when you think about the neglect and the lack of adequate resources poured into a stress area, you got to do something outside the box. It's got to hurt a little bit.
Right, and that's why we have Real Talk, Real Change.
See, okay,
we've got to identify those uncomfortable moments.
Yeah.
We really do. I mean,
and I tell you, boy, you've been involved with some early on in your serving as the new
city council.
Yeah,
so we do have to reach those folks where they're at. So we have to provide platforms in which they can really engage and be forthcoming about what's stopping them, what's preventing them from turning that next page.
Yes.
And so with me having these community meetings, which I'm having at least once a week, it may be tailored down to once a month, but right now it's once a week because we're scratching our heads together. We're doing that group kind of conversation and kind of figuring out what we want to do, what strategies do we want to create to address some concern. One of those concerns we talked about was the uptick in gun violence.
Yeah, that's right.
And so we discovered during those conversations, those real talks, we discovered that there was very little opportunity for young folks to engage in healthy environments.
That's right.
Now, when I'm talking about healthy environments, I'm talking about community development centers. I'm talking about pools. I'm talking about the opportunity to engage in sports.
You got to give them something to do.
Give them something creative to do because, if we don't have something great to do, then unfortunately we find many of things to do that may not be correct.
As my mom used to say, a idle mind is
the devil's workshop.
That's
absolutely.
Right. So so some of it is on us. We always say, how to stop the violence. What are we doing in terms of root causes? Back to your root causes of violence. So here's the thing. You're going to have to come back because there's a lot of subjects that I would love to have your input on. So one of them is, I think there's a sense of North Omaha District 2 that they are ready to get engaged and be a part of change versus just talking about it. And I've seen that, in a small way. Maybe it's a big way because it hasn't been done, but at the last 2 or 3 city council meetings, some representatives from District 2 has been showing up and showing out.
Well, I wouldn't say they're showing out. I would say that they're being engaged in their community. Okay, because
go ahead.
We have to look at this from a positive perspective. They're engaged. Now, many years ago, the numbers would indicate that there was not very much excitement for District 2 to come to City Council. Now we're seeing a shift. We're seeing a shift because I would like to believe that the voters believe in my messaging when I said, I stand for you, but I need you to help me stand.
That's right.
And one way to help me stand.
That's strong.
one way to help me stand is by showing up to city council.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's a win-win.
That's right.
Because again,
Can't do it by yourself.
Can't do it by myself. But remember,
Been chosen as a leader.
as a neighborhood leader, how did I educate myself regarding city services?
Yeah.
By coming to city council meetings.
There you go.
So all I'm saying is, hey, do what I did, and then now you become just as effective
Informed,
as me. Yeah.
The more informed you are, the more effective you can be.
Exactly.
And so we won't have. So I watched a couple of those city council meetings, and I know, there has been some points of contention with the mayor's appointments. And I think you guys worked through that, but it seems to me that how strategy, because the city council, just like the city council, we need each other.
Right,
to
all
move.
7.
Same with the mayor, and your take or your how do you navigate that when you know that you need the mayor?
Right.
We need each other.
Exactly.
She needs you too.
Exactly. When she looks good, I look good. When I look good, she looks good.
See, hey, there you
when
go.
the whole team looks good, hey, we're doing awesome.
You can pop your collar. Bam. Okay.
I mean, it's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing. So, and I know, and she's been on my show before too, and just we need to take a break. But the thing is this: what I would like to challenge you, city council, and the mayor, to really dig deep in terms of just, I think, the word on the street that I'm hearing, it's time for North Omaha to win.
It is.
And win big.
Big.
But we need the adequate resources and the thought leaders and the budget.
Right.
To really, so we can scale up.
Exactly. And so you're leading right into this budget that we have. We have our current administration.
Yeah.
Biden is taking a great interest in poverty-stricken area.
That's right.
And he's promoting giving a leg up.
That's right.
To individuals that are in underserved communities.
That's right.
And so this is an opportunity for us to all be successful. And speaking to your point, this is an excellent time for North Omaha to win.
That's right.
After COVID-19, prior to COVID-19, we might have had some thought that there was some inequities.
Yeah. And still are.
But after COVID-19, I mean, nobody can honestly say that this notion that there's inequity is not true. We all would have to agree that this is
exposed.
Right. This is a fact.
That's right.
So
absolutely.
So if we don't take the opportunity and leverage the resources that have been funneled into this community and make use of it in a tangible,
that's right,
useful way,
intentional. That's right.
Intentional.
Yeah.
I mean, if we don't, what an opportunity would we have missed?
Shame on us.
Shame on us.
And we're gonna have to take a break. I got to pay some bills. Hey, so we're gonna take a short break. When we come back, I'll let Councilwoman Juanita Johnson wrap up in terms of her thoughts, in terms of our way forward, how we're gonna get down and get it done.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Heartland Focus. My guest, Councilwoman Juanita Johnson. We're out of time already, but Juanita, what I'm saying is, I want to challenge the governor, the mayor, city council, commissioners. When this money flows, we better be thinking about North Omaha and some of our most economically challenged areas.
Right. So collectively, Tim, I think that we, Omaha, as a whole, that means all of our districts need to intentionally look at East Omaha.
Yeah.
That includes North Omaha, that includes South Omaha.
That's right.
Intentionally, we need to look at the infrastructure, we need to look at transportation, and we need to look at jobs. More importantly, jobs. Jobs. We have to look at these things. We have to look at these things in a big way. We have to look at these things in ways that we have never done before. We have to think outside the box.
There's no box.
We have to ask people that we wouldn't normally ask.
That's right.
That means that if we want leaders, future leaders, to emerge, we have to start looking at our young folks to seek advice,
That's right,
seek information.
That's right. Give them access to it.
And when we do that, we engage them, and then we have them thinking about staying in Omaha.
Stop that brain drain.
Exactly.
I'm out of time, but I tell you what, you're going to be participating in the parade this morning.
Exactly.
Okay, I'll be at the parade. You guys come and join us for the parade. It's going to start at 30th and Lake Street, and I believe it's going to go north. And so come and join us. Again, to all the folks out there, Native Omaha Days, thank you for coming to Omaha and having a good time. That's all for this show. I'll see you next week.